Hi everyone, welcome back to another creature feature brought to you by the Reptile Zoo. I'm Michael, your host, and today we're going to take a look at one of the smaller critters that we have here at our zoo. Big stuff is always fun because it's really cool and impressive, but the little guys are just too cute not to use. So today we're going to take a look at one of our leopard geckos. Now leopard geckos, it's kind of easy to see how they got their name. Beautiful yellow skin with their amazing little dark brown to black colored spots. And normally this would go all across the top of their body, but you can see he's missing a section there in the middle, but that's fine. Otherwise, his coloration is not only pretty close to normal, but it is just gorgeous. Now these guys are pretty different from most other geckos. Geckos are a family of lizards you will find all across the globe, except of course for the North and South poles. But most geckos you'll find in tropical areas, like in South America, in the jungles, or in the jungles of Southeast Asia, for example. And many of them are not only tropical, but tree dwellers. Well, this guy's a bit of the opposite. He's actually a terrestrial or ground-dwelling gecko, and he is not tropical. These are desert animals from the Middle East. So Afghanistan and Pakistan are two pretty good locations to find these guys. But there are some things they still share in common with the rest of their family. Those huge eyes, for example, those big marbles in his face, those eyes are superbly adapted for nighttime activity. And that's something that all geckos have in common. They don't mind being out in the day, but nighttime is when they are at their best. It helps them avoid predators. And that's when a lot of their favorite foods like insects come out. So it's a great way for him to venture out in safety to look for his favorite meals. All geckos do eat insects, and there are some that eat fruit in addition to that, but this guy is a pure insect eater. He'll eat things like crickets, waxworms, and mealworms. And this guy has another neat little feature, because being a desert animal, food can sometimes be kind of hard to come by. And there's one feature this guy has that makes him pretty well adapted for his region. It also makes him pretty stinking cute. He's got this big fat tail. Now, if we had touch-o-vision, I would ask you guys to reach out and touch your video screen right now, because this actually feels a bit like a marshmallow, because it's fat. It's all fat. There is, of course, still the tailbone and there's muscles, but the girth of this tail is because of the fat that they store in here. And that's useful for either when they miss out on a meal because they just were unsuccessful on a particular night, or during a time of year when these guys brumate, they will sleep for about maybe a couple months or so during the colder months of the year. And this means that they're going to be they're not hibernating, they're just less active. They're not really sleeping, but they pretty much spend their time lazing around, not really doing anything. They're conserving their energy and really only living off of all that body fat they've stored in the tail. Now, all these features make this a very hardy animal, and their temperament is pretty good, so they are wonderful pets to have. I mean, they're small, they're cute, they stay that way forever. They really don't get to be that big, although for a gecko they're pretty big. These guys can reach about 8 inches on average, which for a gecko is considered big. But they'll just happily eat their little insects you throw in there with them. They can last you for 20 years or even more. If you take really good care of them, who knows, 25 years or so is not unheard of. I mean, it's such a great way to start off with your very first reptile, but you don't want something that takes up too much space. So these little guys are just perfect. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and stop there, but don't stop your love for reptiles, and don't stop watching our videos. We've got plenty more of our creature features coming up for you in the future, so stay tuned, keep an eye out, and we'll see you there. Take care, everyone.